Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Fletcher, and I am the college recruiter for Central Virginia Community College. Thank you all for tuning in tonight and being a part of this session with us. Now, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, again, these sessions are recorded, and we also upload these sessions to our YouTube channel and to our website. So I would encourage you, after this session, of course, that if you are interested in future sessions, or any of the sessions that we've already previously recorded, I would encourage you to go to the website, take a look, take a listen, and hopefully that there's information there that will help guide you and inform you, as we are hoping that this session will do as well, but inform you as you consider CVCC. And let me say thank you for your interest in CVCC. Now, tonight we have with us Ms. Meredith McLaughlin. Meredith is our Student Accessibility Services Coordinator, and she's going to be talking with us about IEPs, 504s, if you've had any kind of support in high school. She is going to talk with you about the kind of support we can provide for you at the college level, and what CVCC specifically provide for our students in terms of helping them with their academic success. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. I would encourage you to engage with us by using your reaction button and talking, put it in the chat if you need to, if you don't want to use your voice, but we would love to hear your voice. Ask the questions that you need to, and we will save a few minutes in the end also for Q&A. But feel free to engage with us along the way, because again, we want to make sure you get your questions answered before you're off the call tonight. That being said, we're going to go ahead and move right into it, and I'm going to give it over to Meredith. Meredith?
Hello, everybody. So I'm Meredith McLaughlin. I am the Student Accessibility Services, or SAS Coordinator, and I work with the students with disabilities by making our college accessible to them. So I level the playing field by setting up accommodations for those students. So I just want to go back and remind you that because this is being recorded, you may not want to share your personal information in here. You could always discuss that with me privately, but you may not want to share anything about diagnosis or anything like that if you're not comfortable with it, because again, it's going to be put on YouTube or on our website, so you may not want to share that. And if you have any questions, just like Michelle said, I could answer them at the end for you. But so like I said, I help students with accommodations. I help any student with any disabilities, but I'm also a counselor here. And if you're one of my assigned students, I do help you with degree planning, or if you have questions about transferring, or if you need help signing up for classes, anything that you would need from an academic counselor. But if you're not assigned to me, you would work with your assigned counselor for all those things, but you would work with me with accommodations. I'm the only person on the campus who writes accommodations, so I would be the one to go to for that. So what are accommodations? They are supports and services provided on college campuses. So qualified students with disabilities have equal access and opportunity to benefit from classes, programs, and activities. The qualified means that it has to be a documented disability. Accommodations are provided to any student taking any course with the college. That includes dual enrolled students, homeschooled students, anyone. A few examples of accommodations would be something like extra testing time, or reading aloud, having a test read aloud, using the distraction-free room to take tests, or recording lectures, or maybe you need priority seating where you sit in the front or the back of the room, or even getting a certain chair in a classroom. But the accommodation must be related to the type of disability. So I once put a chair in a classroom for a student with back pain. So getting that chair was the accommodation that related to the disability, which was chronic back pain. So we all know of physical disabilities, we can see that, but a lot of disabilities are not visible. So yes, I help anybody with any physical disability, but I also help students with medical or mental disabilities too. These disabilities would include things like ADD, ADHD, anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, any learning disabilities. And I also work with students who have had an IEP or a 504 plan in high school. It's also good to know that if you have any severe allergies, if you're highly allergic to tree nuts, it would be a good thing if the instructor knew that you had an EpiPen, or you can make a general announcement, or they can make a general announcement in class, not to bring tree nuts to class. So that would be a good thing to know, and I would write that as an accommodation and put it on your letter that you would give to your teacher. So you'd want to have accommodations in place before the semester begins, but you can ask for accommodations at any time during the semester. Although please don't wait until the day before the final. I know many students are trying to take classes without any help, but mostly because they don't want a stigma or a label put on them. I don't tell anybody your diagnosis. The letters only have accommodations listed, not your diagnosis. A lot of the time, students will come to me after their first test or the midterm and then ask that they be put in place, which is fine. And of course, I will do whatever I can to help you and get them as quickly done as I can. But the better option would be to just have them in the first place and then use them if and when you need them. Just because you have them, it doesn't mean you have to use them. And no matter when the instructors receive your letters, they have to give them to you. And they will. The instructors here are very good, and they will help you as best they can, and they will work with me if they need to, if they have any questions about any accommodations. And if you do wait to get them, they're not retroactive. I can't go back and have you retake that first test or midterm with the testing accommodations if you've already taken the test. It would be giving you an unfair advantage. Like I said, I keep any diagnosis private and confidential. Any documentation you give to me is locked up in a file cabinet. I do not discuss your diagnosis with your instructors. Like I said, they only see the accommodations that I put on the letter. Your diagnosis is never put on the letters. It's up to you how much you want to disclose about your diagnosis. However, it may help the instructors to help you if they know what your diagnosis is, but you're in no way required to tell them. So I'm sure you want to know how to get accommodations. So you can contact your counselor or navigator, and they can directly set up an appointment with me for you. Or you can email me or call me directly to set up an appointment, or you can contact the counseling office and they will set up an appointment for you as well. I'll also put my contact information in the chat, and you can reach out to me privately to set up an appointment. But I do have to meet with the student. Your parents can be part of the meeting, but the student must be present during our appointment. Once we do have an appointment, the student, you would fill out an application for accommodations. The appointment, we would talk about your disability and your needs, what accommodations you may need. You may not even know what you might need. So we can start with a few, and then we can always add to it if we need to. Not all the accommodations that you received in high school do translate to college. I could discuss this more at our appointment, but just know that the accommodations may be different in college than they were in high school. I will then ask you for documentation of your disability, which would show the student has a documented disability. This can come from a medical doctor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or it could be the IEP or 504, depending on the disability. So that is something I will also discuss with you when we have our meeting. So after I get all of that, the application and the documentation, I would write up a letter with the accommodations written on them, and then I will email them to you. So you will read them and sign them and return them to me, and then I will send them to your instructors. Then once the instructor gets your letter, you can go and discuss which accommodations you will be using in that particular class. You can use all of them, you could use none of them. It's up to you what you want to use. It's always your responsibility, though, to initially reach out to me, and also every single semester that you want accommodations. I do not reach out to you, but we don't have to go through the entire process in order to get accommodations. I do have to update the letter every semester. They don't carry forward to each semester, so you will have to at least reach out to me once you enroll for the next semester to let me know that you want your letter. And you may think that you have a disability, you can't get accommodations in an online environment, but you definitely can. I'm here to help you to remove those barriers, so don't let your disability stop you from coming to CVCC. So that's about accommodations. I do want to touch on a little bit about service animals. We only allow service animals on campus, no emotional support animals, no pets. There's only 2 animals that are recognized as service animals under the Americans with Disabilities Act, and that is dog and miniature horse. So thank you all for attending this. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat so you can reach out to me privately to set up an appointment. I am faster with email, but if you do call, make sure that you leave a message because I will not know that you called if you don't. And please be patient when we are on peak time of year. It could take me some time to get back to you. Remember, I said I'm the only person who does accommodations. So make sure you give me time to get back to you, but I promise I always will. And just the final thing, my advice to incoming students, if you don't understand something or you have any questions, always ask. Ask your counselor, ask your navigator, your instructors, ask financial aid, ask campus police, ask questions, reach out for help if you need it so we can help you. So I'm
All
going to turn
right.
this
Well,
back over
thank you,
to
Meredith.
Michelle.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that information. It was very helpful. And I also want to remind everyone that this information, again, will be on our website and also on our CVCC's YouTube channel. So you can go back and reference this information time and time again as much as you need to. And as Meredith has already indicated, she's available to answer any questions with you one-on-one. So feel free to come by counseling or give a call to counseling and set up an appointment to speak with her. She will be more than happy, again, to sit down and talk with you and your guardian and or parent. A couple of just gentle reminders as we move forward. We will host another session on next Tuesday, December the 12th. Again, these sessions are on Tuesdays from 6 to 6:30. And next week, we will be highlighting a lot of the academic resources that are available for you at CVCC. To be sure, Meredith is definitely one of our resources to help you with your academic success. But we have a writing center, we have a tutoring center, we have a place specific for math for tutoring. And so we'd like to share that information with you because, as I said earlier, as you consider CVCC, we want to make sure that you are well informed about what we offer and how CVCC can help you in your next step towards your academic career goals. Again, check out the website. We would love to see you in a future info session. And if there is nothing else, Meredith, do you have anything else before we close out?
No, I don't.
Okay, then. Well, thank everyone for being a part of this session. And again, we look to see you in a future session. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.